There he is.
Right. So the browser works. So I at least that's something I can work around until I get the other fix. Yeah, this will be just better than sitting here holding my phone in my hand for the whole time.
Yeah. For the 3 hours that we usually
that's
get talking.
3 hours. That's my other podcast, man.
All right. Yeah. Well, until like we cut ourselves off here, but we could probably talk for 3 hours.
Oh,
just get going.
Well, we could easily talk for longer than we do. That's for sure.
Yeah. Twitch Twizzler says, does FlatCap like flat caps? There comes a time in someone's life when they liked something and they have to decide, do they still like it or do they just keep doing it?
No. Totally like them. Like,
that's good.
I get it's at least monthly emails or actually text messages often with, here's the newest one that's out. And I stop looking at them because I don't want to go, I want that one. I already know ones that I want. So seeing more is not really, advantageous if I don't have funds available.
Right.
So one of the ones that I saw recently is one that has like the Constitution on it. So the fabric is the Constitution.
Oh, okay.
And then part of it's the flag. I'm really opposed to disgracing a flag by cutting it up into wearing it. Like a patch with a flag, I'm fine with, but like, no, I don't want flag. But so it's like half Constitution and half flag. And I'm like, nope, just give me the Constitution in some level. I'd be okay with it.
Does it look like parchment? Like, is it like a national treasure style thing?
Yeah, exactly. It looks like that. I'm like, I'd definitely go with that and the Bill of Rights. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or just the preamble. But no, I don't want to disgrace a flag and cut it up and piece it together.
That's fair. I hear you.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that with Canada's flag either.
Yeah. All right, let me just pull up my notes here. I opened Discord on my phone and all of a sudden every notification from Discord just starts like popping up in the middle of my screen. No. I'm like, stop.
Cool.
Stop. Okay, I'm going to play the the podcast opening theme thing here and then we'll be ready to start in a sec. All right. Welcome to Save Games Podcast, episode 14. We're joined this week by FlatCapDapperPastor. Welcome, sir.
Hey. I'm glad I made it. We had a few hiccups along the way, but we're here.
Yeah, we hit some bumps, but we are here. We've got a few things, a lot of gaming related stuff. More so a lot of Xbox related stuff this week. They had, I think maybe since the last time we did a podcast, they've had like a reorg of their Xbox division. I don't know if you've seen any of that or heard any of that.
No, I don't think I had seen that.
Yeah, we'll jump in and get some opinions. Maybe chat will share some of their opinions on it. Their head, Phil Spencer, he's been with Microsoft for something like 29 or 28 years, which I didn't realize.
Oh, wow.
But I guess until somebody starts doing something that you pay attention to, you don't know about them. So I began to know about him when he took over as the lead of Xbox. And I thought that he's done a pretty good job at it. He has made just being a personable person himself, done a good job of, I think, handling Xbox over the years. Now there have been missteps, things like the always on requirement that they had with the original Xbox One, where someone said like, well, what if I want to play it on a submarine and I don't have an internet connection? And they were like, too bad. And then they had to kind of like backpedal on that a little bit.
Right.
I think he was the head during that time frame, and it was like, there have been some issues, but he also like really pushed like Game Pass and games with gold and stuff like that, and like giving more to the users and making cross-platform a bigger thing than some of the other players in the space wanted it to be, I think. has stepped down. So Phil Spencer stepped down last month, I think it was, as head of Xbox, and I can't remember where he's going, but not going to be with Microsoft anymore. And his underperson, his replacement comes actually from the AI side of Microsoft. I believe her name.
Interesting thing,
right? Her name's I'm going to get it wrong, and I don't want to do that. It's like Asha. It might be Asha. Oh yeah, Asha. Sorry. Yeah, Asha. So Asha has come in. She's the head of Xbox now, and she was in charge of some AI portion of Microsoft there. I'm not gonna try and get it right because I won't, but she's the new head. And so coming in, I think a lot of people were worried, like, oh no, the Xbox is going to become bloated with AI stuff. Copilot's going to take over and this and that. But actually, she has come in, and I've always been under the impression that when a changeover takes place at a company, the first little while that the person's there, probably the stuff that they do was already in the works before they landed.
Oh, probably.
You know what I mean? Like when Tim Cook took over Apple after Steve Jobs passed, he was doing stuff that was already started. He didn't, everything that happened in the first couple months of him being there wasn't like him like striking gold and coming up with all these amazing ideas on his own, I imagine. So I'm wondering how much of what they're doing now has been up to her or was already in the works. So one of the things that she did was she lowered the price of Game Pass, which actually had already increased quite a bit in the past year, from like something like the top tier was like $20 or something like that, and it went up to like $30. So it was $30 a month for Game Pass Ultimate for Microsoft, and that gives you like 200 or 300 games that you can play at any time you want, cloud streaming,
the
library.
One thing with Game Pass that like just did not make sense to me on one level is like I've been playing the same game this entire year. So what do I need Game Pass for if I'm not switching games? Now, I like the introduction. Like what I would love instead is let me play 10 hours of a game a month. Okay. I'm going to play 10 hours. By 10 hours in, I know if I want the game and then I want to buy it. So just give me access to play 10 hours of a game or 12 hours, whatever. Just set a number that says I can play this game for this many hours. I'll know if I want it. I'll know if I like it. I don't have to pull the trigger on the full upfront cost. I can invest a little bit and say, I want it, download it for me now, give it to me, and I'll pay the full price. I don't want a $30 a month that I'm playing the same game and I'm paying, 3, 4, 5 months for the same game and I'm only playing one game.
Yeah. Well, that was my feelings with like in the years when I was playing like just Destiny 2 for such long periods of time. I was like, I don't need access to 200 games. The thing with Game Pass is that it's also their Xbox Live now. So in the past, there have been games where you need to have Xbox Live to be able to play online. So Halo and Destiny and different things like that. Now Destiny's free to play, so I think it bypasses that requirement. But there are certain other ones where you need to have it to play online. And so for a little while, I had what they called Game Pass Core, and it was like $7 a month. It gave me 25 games that I could play for free, and they were all the old versions of everything. It was like Halo 5 and Forza 4 or something like that. And so I had some free games I could play. They were never the newest. I didn't get day one releases. When the new Halo comes out or the new Call of Duty, I'm not getting those, but it was there and I had it. And then I found I wanted to do the cloud gaming. So I bought a device that is not meant to run the games locally. It's meant to stream them, a Logitech device called the G Cloud. And so I was like, I think I'm going to up my subscription because I do want to get access to play some games on there. And I used it to play like Batman Arkham Asylum a little bit. I played some Call of Duty on there, and it runs really well. And so I feel like I'm getting a little bit more for my money there, where I can play the games on the go. on a portable
Oh, yeah,
device.
that's yeah. When if you could play them on the go and you're playing on a mobile device, that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. I've never gone that direction,
Mhm.
and I haven't gone to the latest platform. I have been Xbox, so
Yeah.
one of the things is like I never pay attention to who's running a company, like because I'm not playing all the games, so
Oh
it
yeah.
doesn't really, in some ways, matter to me. I'm in the RPG category, so I did the Assassin's Creed, and then the one Assassin's Creed they tried to make it where you had to have the subscription, you had to join in, you had to play with other
Yeah.
people. It was really not good.
Mm.
Jumping on, I'm trying to do these quests with people. I'm standing on a roof waiting for 3 other people to join the party. I can't go do it. It's like, this is a
Yeah.
waste of my time. I'm sure it got better, but it was just like my first initial experience with playing with other players was like, I don't like this. Why would I want to stick around?
Yeah.
But you were mentioning, and I can't remember that you mentioned her name is taking over, and you were mentioning AI. I
Mhm.
don't know if you remember, they developed a nemesis system. So are you familiar with the nemesis that they had for Shadow of Mordor?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So those people that don't know, it was an iterative learning program that would learn your tactics as you fight, which is really bad for people like me, who I only know 2 moves, and that's all I do continuously is I just keep doing the same move over and over again.
Right.
So the orcs would learn your moves. They would learn your tactics. So
Yeah.
you had to continuously learn and grow and do other things. And then the orcs would get smarter and smarter as you played the game.
Yeah.
I even though it was frustrating, it was genuine interaction that was on a different level that like if you want to
Yeah.
talk about can you incorporate AI into some games, I would love to bring the Nemesis system back because I think I only did it for like 2 games and then it was just put aside. I don't think they used it anywhere else. Maybe I'm wrong,
I
but
think
I only remember it being in like, Shadow of Mordor and whatever the one was before or after that one.
oh, because there was only there was only the first. There was Shadow of Mordor, and that one didn't have the Nemesis. The second
Okay.
one did. Shadow of War
Okay, Shadow of
had
War. Okay.
had the
I'm
Nemesis
mixing the 2
system,
up then.
but I wonder if they had another game outside of the Lord of the Rings series that incorporated it somehow. But yeah, those are the places where the AI in the game is really cool. And I think even just like I remember when the first Far Cry game came out, and
Oh
they were
yeah.
like the robot characters. It wasn't AI back then. They wouldn't have called it that, but the enemy
NPCs.
players, the NPCs, will learn your tactics and adjust. But really, they could only go so far because they could only adjust so far as what the programmers of the game told them to do. But with AI, it could
Yeah,
go way beyond that. Now,
absolutely.
could it get to the point where the game gets so hard that nobody can beat it? I guess they might have to put some
Well,
sort of
yeah, but
a
this was also
restraint on it.
it was also learning from what you did. It was not taking into account other players who were
Mm,
not your level and capability.
yeah,
So
that wouldn't be
what
good.
what off well, like I'm playing Clear Obscure 33 right now, and my problem is trying to, you know, uh, dodge and parry. And I'm still in the process of learning everyone's attack. And then I go attack, I find a new, you know, I'm in a new realm, I'm in a new world, I've got new enemies. Well, some of them do this big wind up before. So like when do you have to time it to
Mm,
defend or to parry or dodge? Uh versus others are like bam, bam, bam. It's like every person you have to learn how to defend yourself against them or just get hit like I do most of the time. And
just
and
tank
and
it.
just yeah, just play the tank because I'm
Yeah.
not going to be any good at it. But it's like learning those things takes time to do that. And frankly, I found out I'm much better at dodging than anything else. So I just keep trying to dodge and get the timing of the
Mhm.
dodge down, and everything else will just hit me and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
But if I parry, I actually get a chance to, counterattack with a parry. So it's
Okay.
more advantageous, but it's harder. And so I just, as I get to some levels, it's just like, well, okay, I'm just going to stick with what I can manage. And
Yeah.
it's like if you could figure out in the game, more systems that could say, "Hey, this person can't do this move. So I'm not going to just exploit them with this move.
Right.
I'm going to make it more advantageous for them and mix it up a little bit more
Hmm.
than just continuing to exploit it. So I don't want AI to exploit my
To punish
weaknesses.
you, yeah.
Right, right. I
To
don't want to
teach
be
you,
punished for my weaknesses.
yeah,
Um, because there's certain things that, yeah, I'm going to avoid every single time in the game.
yeah,
And you put it in there for other people to play and enjoy, but not me. Having me run and accomplish goals and do timed things or skill level running, like I was just doing one today where it was run across water, jump on a log, jump to the next log, make it, don't fall off the log. And up to this point, I've never had a problem of falling off anything. They just gave me a new option. It's like, nope, nope, I'm out of here. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care about what this level is and what you're doing. It's probably something cool, but it's not required for the game. Goodbye. I'll move on. But somebody else is like,
Mhm.
this is their thing,
Right,
and so they put that in there for other people. So I like the optional things at
yeah,
times and the pathway. So if you can figure some of those things out and utilize AI to make it so it'd be more incentivized for me to say, yeah, go learn this thing and then come back and try run it across the log, or
yeah,
let me move some of it or find some way to manipulate it and do things. I'd try it, but I already know I'm gonna get. And it's like, those things where you run and it's like it's gonna take you 5-6 minutes to accomplish the thing, and you fall 30 seconds in. Okay, I am never gonna make it 6 minutes down the road
right,
without falling and dying and having to start at the beginning again. It's just not gonna happen. So
yeah.
I just give up. I'm not one of those people that's gonna grind it out until I do it. Nope.
So
I'm bailing.
be nice if the AI could adjust the game for you a little bit. If
Right,
you could
right,
have different settings. So one person could play it and set it to level 10 difficulty and have it punish them and punish them and punish them as much as they want.
right.
And you could set it to 5 and have it kind of adjust
Yeah,
and
like,
flow.
say I don't want the game to require me to do jumping. I
Just
I
remove
I can't
jumping.
do it. Yeah, don't
Hmm.
require me to do jumping in the game, but, or make jumping that I have absorbent powers a little bit extra. I can jump 10% better. My timing doesn't have to be as precise when I hit the button, you know? Like Olympic athletes can get within a centimeter of the end of the board when they jump. Like if I'm in 6 inches of the end of the board, I was good enough. Yeah, I cost myself 6 inches on the end of the jump.
Yeah.
Just give me the 6 inches on the end
Just
of the
get,
jump.
yeah.
Don't count the 6 inches at the beginning against me. Measure my actual jump and make me successful.
That's funny. So yeah, so I mean, that stuff could probably still find its way into games. I don't think that that people would mind so much that sort of thing, but I think what people probably worried about was that she would come in and clunk up the interface. So they have a Copilot or had a Copilot app, and this is kind of playing my hand early as to what I was about to say, but she actually came in and removed the Copilot stuff from Xbox. So it had a Copilot
Oh, I
gaming
did
app.
I did not know that Copilot had made its way into Xbox. I had not seen that.
Yeah, there was supposed to be an app that was either available or in preview that would tell you how to beat games. So you could ask it while you were in the game. You could say, how do I beat this part? And allegedly,
Uh,
possibly, it could play the game for you to get you through difficult sections. And then so people are like, well, so why did I spend $60 on this game? $90 if you're in Canada, and to have the AI beat it for me. It's like, well, that's a very good question. Why did you turn it on? You could turn the AI feature off. Just don't ask it to do that. But yeah, I just think that it's very interesting how yeah, so they removed it. She came in, she said, this isn't what people want. So I guess she's listening to what the people want, which is good. They're reverting some stuff. They lowered the price of Game Pass. As Twizzler said, her predecessor did raise it. So maybe they were already planning on lowering it. One thing, though, that's interesting is that I think a lot of people will know that they recently bought Activision so that they could have access to all the Call of Duty games. And
oh,
Call of Duty games that released were supposed to be day one for Game Pass. And what they were
okay.
finding was that was cutting into their profits. Like if you own Call of Duty and you want to make a bazillion dollars, all you do is release a new game and everybody's going to buy it. And all of a sudden you've got a huge income of cash. But if it's part of your Game Pass thing, people aren't buying it, so you're losing. So they've lowered the price of Game Pass because there was this like, well, we've got to raise it because we're not making money off of Call of Duty, so we have to raise the price of Game Pass. So they're removing it out of there. It still might get added at some point, but it's not going to be a day one thing. So anybody who wants to play it right away will have to buy it. They get that money. Then the people playing on Game Pass get a little bit of a price break. So it's down from $30, I think, down to $20 or something like that, which is a significant drop. I think I'm still paying the mid-tier one, but like I said, just because I want to be able to play some cloud games and stuff like that. But a few other things. She changed the logo. The Xbox logo had kind of gotten a little bit more complicated over time, and she's changing it back to the original, almost like a much more plain Xbox logo, and everybody was really happy about that. But again, that's the kind of thing where I'm like, okay, did she do that? Did she come up with that idea, or was that on the back burner? And they said, you know what? If you want people to really like you, here's a couple things that we've been saving, and you can have them.
They already have her in a transition team working on some changes she wanted to make for the last 6 months.
Maybe, yeah, okay.
And so she can simultaneously come on board and launch some new things as she comes in. Because unless, it's hey, you messed up and we have to force you out, there's probably a little bit more of a runway up to bringing her on board and having her working on some things and moving those forward. But you're right. Yeah. They could have been some separate things too that she wasn't involved in that just happened to, we'll postpone these because we know that people will be happy and it'll help you successfully take the mantle if we do those right afterwards. I mean, like the price reduction could have been totally unrelated to her, and they just held it so that she would have a good, footing to start on with. Look what I did for all of you. I lowered the price right away.
That's what I called it in I don't know if it was Facebook or Reddit post or something like that. I commented and I said, it's a good run. They've given her a good runway. They've cleared a runway. They've said, here, take off and fly. And now I guess it's going to be up to her to do that. And we'll see how things go over like the next year, because I think that'll really tell, where she's going to head and what kind of decisions she can make.
Well, and for some too, it's like, and this isn't just Xbox, this is overall. It's like when I have now a gaming PC and we already had the console war where it's like, well, I'm not going to buy both of them. So I'm going to commit to one and be on there. And now it's like, well, I'm at the point where I have to upgrade my console again because I'm still on Xbox One. Well, I'm not ready to shell out that much money and then turn around and buy games when there's not that many yet that I want to run out and play. I mean, I was like, you were talking about not being, first day of a game with Assassin's Creed. I would say with starting with Assassin's Creed 3 or 4, I was first day release. Yeah. I was pre-buying. I was buying the deluxe set with it so that I had it day one, went home, I played it, and I put 80 plus hours into the game, and several of them 120 hours into the game. So I wanted it right away. I knew I could wait a year and pay less. So it was the one game that I did. Everything else I waited and I got it later and I paid less. But it's like, no, I want this on day one because I want the bonus content and the other things that you get by signing up and those things and being able to play it right away. Which I say with all my friends, I was in a pastor group where 6 of us were out of 8 were Assassin's Creed players. Nice. So yeah, it was fantastic. Cool. We would talk about it coming up. So it's just like there was camaraderie with my group of pastors that we're Assassin's Creed players. And you have a bad day in the office, so to speak, and you go home and you gank a couple of people and you're feeling good about yourself. So
that's a word I haven't heard in a while.
That's because I'm old.
The rogues in World of Warcraft they would say they ganked. They would sneak up and gank. Yeah. That means to assassinate for anybody out there who's not following along. Yeah, it's funny. So I just want to go. I've got a list here that they posted. They said this is
Okay.
kind of our roadmap. But then I want to touch on something you mentioned a second ago because I didn't have that on the news, but it might be an interesting topic, especially since you had some interest in it. But so they've said we're going to try our best to earn every player, protect our art, stay rebellious, whatever that means, progress over perfection. So instead of trying to perfect
Oh,
things and keep them in the
I
burner too
like
long,
that.
signal over ceremony, core before more, outwork the problem, speed is learning, makers over managers, and clarity is kindness.
Mm,
And it's like some of those resonate with me, and then some of them I'm like, how do
what do
I
you mean?
interpret that? Is that just marketing
Right.
lingo? Is it
Yeah, some
kind
of
of
those I
fluff?
was like, "Oh, I like what you're saying here, clarity
Yeah,
is kindness." Oh, I really like that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's good. But some of those I'm like, "I don't know what you're
Speed
trying
is
to tell me.
learning.
Your clarity was not in that one."
Yeah,
So,
that didn't feel kind. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully some of the changes at Xbox are going to bring them into a good place. I don't think that they've been hurting. They've always trailed behind PlayStation in terms of like say actual sales. But just because you're not selling the most doesn't mean you're still not being successful. If you live your life comparing yourself to everybody else, then you're going to probably feel like you've failed in a lot of places. But if they just keep
well,
doing what they're doing and you
one of
know,
my favorite stories about comparing yourself to someone else is a golfer who I believe grew up in the same state as shoot, who's lefty? What's his name? I'm blanking on his name. Phil Mickelson.
okay.
So grew up playing in the same region as Phil Mickelson, losing to him in high school. Went to college, continuously lost to him in college, so he didn't go professional. You're losing
Just
to
because
a
he lost
guy
to like, yeah,
who is the best of a generation growing up, the best within a 4-year window.
right.
He is simply the best guy out there. You're losing to a guy who you're number 2 to him. You're comparing yourself to number 1, and so you don't go professional because you're tired of losing to him.
That's funny.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, hey, if you're number 2, you're beating everybody else.
I've always loved the saying, and it not necessarily as a direct comparison to the story you told, but that like you can't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, or it's always going to look like a failure, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah. Yeah, comparison is the thief of joy. Supersonic says, I like Phil Mickelson. He won a jacket, I think. He probably did. There's a couple
Yeah.
different jackets. Um, yeah, yeah. So hopefully they just keep trucking along. I've always liked them. I really like Halo. Halo's my game, like kind of in the background of everything. I haven't beat the most recent one, but I have played every Halo game that's come out. And love Destiny from Bungie, and that's kind of how I got into Destiny was because Bungie made Halo and then Destiny. And the sad thing is I haven't turned on my Xbox more than a couple times in over a year. It sits on the shelf. I'm gaming on PC and I'm playing some games that are Microsoft games or that I might be able to play on the Xbox, but I'm like now I have two things and I have to decide between which one to turn on, and the PC is closer, so I just turn it on. It's just easier to turn on. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, I did pick up a game for Xbox. It had been out for a while, and I debated if I wanted to get it on Xbox or if I wanted to get it for VR headset because it actually was one you could play.
Yeah,
And I decided, oh, I'm gonna get it for Xbox. It's pretty cheap. I'll sit there. My wife can watch me play it if I'm on there. If I'm in the VR headset, she can't.
yeah.
And so it was Peaky Blinders, and then it's it's this really weird time traveling thing where you've got to go forward and backwards and manipulate time to be able to do things and set things in motion
Okay.
so that then which sounded really good, except that when I went to go play it, it was more felt like a uh escape room kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, no, I'm playing Peaky Blinders. I'm here to kill people. Like I'm not here to figure out who's doing this based on your questions and go find that person in time forward or backwards or
Yeah.
across town. And like, no, this was not what I signed up for. This is absolutely not the kind of game I want to play. So I played for exactly about an hour and I quit.
I think the
So
downfall of AI probably is that escape rooms are probably the easiest game to make in. Did I say AI? I meant VR. In VR, so it's like similar to the Wii, where it was like, oh, it's easy to make a game where you just have to move, so we're just gonna spam the system
right,
with junkware, right?
and maybe it was designed more for the VR headset, so it would maybe make
Yeah.
more sense in there than
Mm-hmm.
playing in. But it was like, like I'm trying to go do the first thing, and it's like, and
Yeah.
the rules aren't always clear when you start a game and what the parameters are and those things. But it's like, man, I really wanted to. Actually, I really thought about too is if I did it in VR, if I could download the avatar and use that with all the flat caps would be really fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. And just to cycle back for 1 second, I don't want to, we've talked about Xbox for a long time, but something that's interesting. I just said I haven't turned on my physical Xbox in over a year.
Yeah.
But I still pay them for Game Pass. Isn't that
Oh,
interesting? Right?
that is.
They don't care if I turn it on or not. I'm still
they
paying
don't.
them for the subscription, and I still use some of the features of it. But yeah, it's very interesting. Like that was their thing for a little while. This is an Xbox. That's an Xbox. Your TV is an Xbox. Your PC is an Xbox. Your phone's an Xbox. So they could probably care less whether I turn my Xbox on. But
Well, if you want to go back further before Xbox, I don't know if you remember this or how many people in the chat will. Web TV
yeah.
was the thing that Microsoft came out with, and I was right on board with Web TV. I bought it. I had the remote or the little clicker remote and the keyboard, and was trying to do it. The thing was, like internet speeds were not good enough.
Yeah.
At the time,
That was probably still
really
dial up or just like early broadband, right?
Yeah, early broadband. I think I probably still had dial up at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was still over your phone line. It was designated. Somebody could call you and bump you offline. Those kinds of things. So it wasn't good. It wasn't great. And then, it's like, well, I didn't pay all that much for it. So I just went back to going off the PC. So
yeah, that's right. You mentioned Assassin's Creed. There's a new Assassin's Creed coming out soon. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I was
Not
looking
new.
at it. I'm really debating, do I go and get it or not? I'll probably not get it right away. I'll probably let it come out first. But yeah, they're taking and redoing Black Flag and I was looking at it actually in the last week, and having some additional character storylines added to it that were like maybe you ran into them in the story, but now they'll have a whole story motif you can follow with that person.
Right.
And really leaning in more to some of the sailing and hopefully some new features in there. One of the things when I played Black Flag that I didn't do is there's these massive ships that are like just an armada to themselves that you could go and attack that were obnoxiously overpowered and gonna shoot you out of the water until you were buff. And it's like, all right, that's great for somebody that wants to play all the way through and go do that.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in sneaking on the ship and just kicking the captain out and leaving. That's more what I'm interested in. So
that's cool. Yeah, I'd like to see it at least or give it a try. I haven't really done a good deep dive on an Assassin's Creed game since number 2 with Ezio. I loved it. I loved it so much that when I started playing 3, I was like, well, this isn't Ezio. I don't know if I want to play this.
You know what? There really was that with 3.
Yeah.
The shift over, this isn't. And then it was like, okay, I can go in this direction. I get all the numbers mixed up in them, but I really love some of the gray area that they are able to play in with, is this person actually a Templar? Are they actually an assassin? Well, they used to be an assassin. Now they're a Templar. They used to be a Templar. Now they're an assassin, and the moving back and forth. Or your father was one and you're the opposite. So you could actually end up playing in the Templar if, like when you're moving stuff. So I just really find that part fascinating. I love the history of things. I also, love discovering the map, which to me, that's one of the fun things is go find hidden
Yeah.
things on the map, ignore the plot moving forward as long as you have
Yeah.
to go find obscure things and get all the eagles unlocked. And,
That was definitely a highlight for me. The story was cool. I loved the fact that the story wove its way through real world events and real people. So with it, one of the things that they show, if nobody's ever played an Assassin's Creed game before, and actually it was so interesting that my wife actually watched me play all the way through the second game, because it says right at the start, all of the characters that you will meet are real historical people that existed in the time frame that you meet them within the game. So you meet Leonardo da Vinci in the second game. You meet Ezio's uncle. Ezio himself would have been a historical character, I believe, unless the main character is like the one character that's not or something. I don't know. But
well, meeting the character and how they portray them in the game doesn't
is it different?
automatically. Yeah, may not be exactly the same.
And one of the things that they said was that in the game, the year that you assassinate them would have been the year in real history that character, that person died, which I thought was also very neat. So, it's kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, whenever they go to a new era and they tackle a new thing. So they go do, the American Revolution. They go and they do the Vikings. They go to Egypt. They go Japan. There's always some group that's upset at them for some of the things that they portray and, these aren't real to history and those kinds of things. And they're upfront about that.
Yeah.
Look, we're using that as the backdrop.
Yeah.
We're taking liberties with some stuff. Some stuff just doesn't transfer over to gameplay well.
Right.
So we exaggerate, we leave out, we do some other things.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I like about it is, other than a few of them, which Black Flag will have some pistols and stuff, most of it is still, if you want to kill someone, you're up close and personal with them.
Yeah.
You're not far away.
Swords or hand axes or your
swords, axes. I mean, you can
hidden
have throwing
tool.
weapons. I'm good with those. Crossbow, I'm going to avoid it. I'll sneak up on you. I'd rather do that. The pistols, I kind of like. I don't want it to go any further in time.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be World War II. I'll have no interest in doing a World War II Assassin's Creed. None.
Yeah.
I don't want guns out there. That's not my idea of fun. Climbing a building and jumping from 200 feet in the air, and I kill you and walk away. That's what I want. Unrealistic, like in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole exploring the city, walking through the crowds is one of the main reasons I want to play the VR one. So they made a VR where it takes place across the storylines of, I think, the second, third, and fourth, or the second, third, and sixth game or something like that. I think one of them you play the female character, and that might have been one of the side scrollers that was based in China or something like that. I can't remember. But just the idea of being able to just walk into the crowd in 3D in VR and just walk with them and explore the city and look around, I think that would be amazing. Yeah, very cool. So that one wasn't on our thing, but you mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh, there's a new one out. Like, let's talk about that," because I like Assassin's Creed, and I am discovering like Assassin's Creed. So our next thing on our list was the list of the best-selling video games of all time. I thought that was an interesting thing I came across, ranked by sales. Now, it's interesting because there are some games that they go through iterations, and so they don't count a series. So one of the games on the list, for example, that's in 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth place is Red Dead Redemption 2. So they're not taking into account the first game. They're not taking into account the expansion, the Undead Redemption or whatever it was called with the zombies. But first place is Tetris.
Yeah.
And so it has had many iterations, but the main default one has been available across such a long time period and on so many different systems that how can any other game compete with it, you know? It's like similar with Minecraft. There's no other version of Minecraft except for the Minecraft dungeons and those sorts of things. But when it's on everything for the last 10 or 15 years. You can get it on pretty much any device. Your numbers are gonna go up. So it's kind of an interesting list, but it also feels a little bit unfair to some of the other things on there.
Well, I think one of it is as well is platform availability. If you can cross all platforms and devices and have your game available on all of them,
Yeah.
you're going to have more people buying it, more people playing it. It's also a game that, while difficult, and you can keep working on difficulty, you can just play it for a little while and enjoy doing it in the process of it. It's not the same as, well, there was recently someone who actually, I guess, ended up finishing the game
Yeah,
for the first time.
they hit a
But
glitch or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure all the details on that, but it was like, I'm not really interested fully in like, oh, I have to complete the game. Not like Zelda.
Yeah.
Zelda, there's the whole point to rescue the princess.
Yeah.
I have to complete it. Tetris, I play it for a long time. I can
Yeah.
pick it up and play it for a few hours. Oh, I've only got 20 minutes. I could play. Oh, I'm sitting in the airport. I could play it on my phone.
Yeah.
It's a versatile game you can play anywhere. So it doesn't surprise me. They've, and age group too. It's not
hmm
stuck in one age group is the only people that are going to play that kind
Yeah,
of a
it's
game.
accessible to everybody. Like my
Yeah.
kids enjoy playing it. My wife plays it. It's one of the, which she wouldn't call herself a gamer, but she'll play Tetris or Tetris Dr. Mario on the Super Nintendo. Easy. 520 million copies sold
And
is pretty crazy.
I'm glad that they're doing copies and not money, because, then more expensive games would be higher.
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
for sure.
I was kind of surprised that The Witcher was on here. I'm like, I had
Yeah,
no
Witcher
idea that.
3.
Yeah.
Because that would
Well,
have
yeah,
been all
it's the Wild.
Xbox?
It's
It,
it's
no, it hit the
well,
Switch.
that's where I played it, was on
Okay.
Xbox. I don't know if it's cross-platform, but I believe you can get it on Steam. So,
Okay. Yeah. If it's on PC, then that opens it up quite a bit. But
right, and they've been doing a bunch of DLC content for that one that they didn't do with previous ones. So they keep doing this. Like, I'm actually in the Witcher Discord server, and I'm waiting for the new one to eventually come out.
okay, 4.
And they just keep doing more DLC content for the Wild, and I'm like, man, I already did that like years ago. I don't want more content for that one. I want a new game, which goes back to Tetris. I don't have that same thought with. Like, I've already completed it. Don't give me more content to go through.
Right.
I want a new start over one, and go from there. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's what it is. But I was surprised to see that one on there.
I know Supersonic really likes Tetris. There are other ones out there, like Tetris 99, for example. Have you ever tried that? Where it's actually, you have to have a Switch Online subscription to play that one, so there might not be too many people who have, but
Okay.
it's like Battle Royale. You're playing Tetris, and as you complete lines, it can randomly or targetedly, through an algorithm, send blocks over to other players' screens.
Oh,
So you'll
okay.
have 99 people playing all at the same time. You're making your lines, and you can say, send the blocks to random people within the group, send the blocks to the top player who's doing the best, send the blocks to the bottom player who's doing the worst. And so you can kind of target where the blocks are going. But yeah, it is an interesting version, which I'm sure wouldn't be counted in this list, but they do keep trying to come out with different ways to kind of update Tetris. There was Tetris 2 way back in the day, but that might have just been on the Super Nintendo. I don't know if that went beyond.
Yeah, I don't know if that went very far beyond that.
Mhm.
It might not have, but
It's hard to complicate a simple, just
right.
genius system, right? It's like
Well, what's interesting is, though that whole concept has, morphed into other spin-off games. My kids, when we were younger, Disney had the little portable games
Yeah.
that you plug in.
Mhm.
So the whole game is here. You're the controller, the batteries are in it, and you
Yeah.
plug it in to your RGB VGA, whatever it is. You
Yeah.
can plug your ports in and play on any system. and one of them was Timon and Pumbaa's fruit drop.
Okay, yeah.
So you've got fruit, and you got to line the fruit up in different things. And so you're just dropping fruit, and it might have 3 cherries or 2 bananas and an orange, and you're doing all of that. I got so good at that game that I'm literally looking at my kids playing it without watching it. And then and you could also make it, like Tetris, make it go faster and do this. I put brand new batteries in, played it all the way through, was like at level 350. And I'm like you're playing it for that long. It's just like, da, 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 and the batteries died right in the middle of playing the game. My kids were mortified. I'm like, oh, good. I'm finally out of here. That's over.
You made them watch.
Well,
Witness me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't force them to. They're just sitting there hanging out because Dad's being a show off over here. No, my goodness, is Dad ever gonna die? And I didn't.
4 a.m., Dad. I remember one of those devices we had. It was like a Pac-Man or something, and you could buy a battery pack thing that went in the bottom. It fit where the batteries should go, and then it plugged into the wall for power, so you could play endlessly.
Oh yeah, I could have done that, but most of the time we grabbed we plugged it in the car.
Okay,
so it was on the TV that was in the car, so it wasn't going to work that way.
Yeah, that's where you don't want the batteries to die, is when you're on a car trip, because it keeps the peace.
Yeah, well, we always had extra batteries, and you take turns and those kinds of things, but it was really before Game Boy came out. So
okay, yeah. Well, that was a thing. It was so big with Nintendo and Game Boy, and then other systems kind of were like, oh, we need a puzzle game. So then you end up with Columns on the Sega Genesis and like Bejeweled on the PC and stuff like that, even though the PC had Tetris as well. But yeah, it really kicked off like a whole industry of puzzle games, My kids like to play on the Xbox. They played the Frozen Bubble Drop or something like that, where it was like Bejeweled. It was like you spin 2 pieces and try to make 3 in a row or 5 in a row or whatever. And some of them have superpowers that like freeze all the things on the board or all of one color and different things like that. So yeah, puzzle games are timeless.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Just looking at others on the list here. Wii Sports, that makes a lot of sense. That was innovative when it came out, and then there were a bunch of nursing homes that were utilizing that to get people active when they couldn't actually go out and do something. Well,
and the Wii is one of the best-selling consoles of all time, and it was bundled with it too. They actually have that in the little graphic there. It says Wii Sports was bundled.
So it's kind of misleading a little bit if you're giving that game away when you buy the console. But Mario Kart is up there as well. That was always fun to play. When you would have 4 different people being able to play against each other. That's kind of fun. You got the 4 different screens. You could play that. Although every once in a while I'd end up playing and I'd be looking at the wrong screen because I could see my character in the screen, and then realize halfway through the race I was looking at the wrong screen. Wait a minute. Where did I go? Oh, I'm in the wrong corner. I'm watching the wrong screen. So
that's funny.
You got to be careful with that.
Yeah. It's interesting, Mario Kart, though, that it's Mario Kart 8 specifically, because there have been so many other iterations and some of them have been re-released. And so I don't know how they would count that virtual console sales, for instance, for like the first one. The first one was on Super Nintendo. Then it would have been on the virtual console for the Wii and the Wii U and the 3DS.
To take and do a whole game regardless of iteration of it.
Yeah.
Like just... Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, 3, whatever, put all
a franchise.
Yeah, what's the franchise with the most? So
Sonic was just asking what's the list, so I'll run down it real quick here. We'll go through the list. It was Tetris in first place, then you have Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 5, Wii Sports, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mario Kart 8, PUBG Battlegrounds, Terraria, which is like a side-scrolling Minecraft, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Skyrim, Super Mario Bros., Human Fall Flat, which is actually, I'm very surprised by that one because I have played it, but I didn't realize it was such a big hit. Overwatch, The Sims and Stardew Valley. I would have expected Stardew Valley to be higher than Human Fall Flat. Human Fall Flat is a fun game though. It's kind of like Fall Guys, but with like puzzle elements inserted instead. So you're controlling a character and your two thumbsticks control their arms. And so when they walk around, you like make an arm go up and then you have to like make it grab things, and you can kind of climb by letting go and holding, or you can pick up objects, and you can play multiplayer. So multiple people can pick up an object at the same time, and you have to walk around with it and drop it in certain places. It's a really cool game.
Yeah,
But,
never even heard of it. I think that's the only one I haven't heard of on the list. So.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know that anything apart from that surprises me that it's on the list. Maybe the order of them a little bit, but Sonic said what was number 4 or 5? 5 was Red Dead Redemption. Number 4 was Wii Sports. 6 was Mario Kart. But yeah. Yeah, well, it is interesting to kind of think back and look at those and compare them.
Yeah, well, and to go Tetris, you're going way back. You know,
Yeah.
it's old. I remember when it came out and I got it new and was excited about playing it. You know, because Nintendo Power was talking it up, and this game is coming out, so it was like, oh, this is going to be fun, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It just wasn't all right, so it's just one more level I got to get. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
you might brag with your
You could
friends on
stop and then
how many levels you made it, or that, but it wasn't like I said, it's not like I'm gonna just keep playing this until I defeat the princess. You know.
Yeah. That's a clippable moment there. Defeat the princess.
Yeah, like depends on which game it is.
Yeah, I suppose it does. Did you see the Tetris documentary? It's not even a documentary, but it's the Tetris movie. It was about the guy who kind of bought the rights and everything. It's a fantastic movie. I loved it. It was a for a movie about the creation of a video game. It was much more wild and crazy than I expected. Yeah. But yeah. So our last point on the list here tonight is a game. It's called it's a 5D game. I don't know if I have the title of the game or if that is the title. Let me just double check here. 5D video game. So what it is, it's kind of interesting. So you play it in 3D. You look around, you've got 3 dimensions, but within that, your character is holding like a Game Boy style device. And in the screen of that device, you're seeing a side-scrolling view of yourself.
Oh, weird.
Right? So you're walking forwards in the real 3D view and you see certain things. Yeah. And on the 2D screen, there are certain things you can't see. But also the way that things line up in front of you in the 3D world might look like you can't make it across. But if you look at the 2D screen, you can. There's platforms so depending on the angle that you turn and choose. So I found that to be a really cool idea. Let me pull up the title of it here because people are asking, and I have completely forgotten the name of the game. It is Screenbound, it's called. Okay.
Well, having grown up with side scroll games, I think I would be interested in that aspect of it, of watching the side scroll, because Pitfall, you're just scrolling and then you go to the next one and you have to get through and then you scroll to the next one, or Contra, where you're moving forward, you can go up, you're moving forward. That's it. That's all you do, is you just keep scrolling. So growing up with all of the scroll games, I think that would be fascinating to have it. And what I don't know is, can they let you make that screen bigger, or, so that you could see more of the, because I might be inclined to make that 2D screen
bigger,
the side scroll a lot larger than other people would. I might want that sucker pretty big to be able to see who's behind me, who's above me, without having to turn and look. I would utilize that. I think pretty exclusively. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Sonic said there was sections of the Mario and Luigi Brothership game that had sections like that, but I'm wondering if it was really the same because I'm thinking of two like Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch had mostly 3D gameplay, but then there would be sections where you go into a tube or a tunnel, a pipe rather, and when you go into the pipe, it puts you on a 2D. You're on a
Oh,
wall and you're
right,
playing 2D Mario, and then you come out and you're back in 3D again. But that's not the same as experiencing both dimensions literally at the same time.
right.
And I don't know that I've seen that. I have heard that there's a 4D game out there, but I wonder if the fourth dimension in that one is time because I mean, really, this one's not 5D. It's 3D plus 2D, and they're calling it
Right.
5D. They're just
Yeah,
adding, but
I like that. Now, I might also, I mean, like, where can I do the screens for this? You know,
mm-hmm.
like I'm just thinking through if this came out for PC, could I like have one screen in front of me that is fully the three-dimensional, and then I have right to the
Right.
side is the side scroll so that I can literally be looking at the
Hmm.
side scroll on the side. And then what if I could flip and mirror it on the other side? And because I have three screens. So I'm just thinking, like, how fun would that be to have your side
Yeah.
scroll in your peripheral on both sides and you're forward facing right in front? Like, I'm think like somebody
Yeah.
needs to go do this. I have no idea how to do this, but you
Somebody
set it
can
up with
take it
three
and run.
screens. Yeah,
Yeah.
take it and run, make the game,
Run,
so that
jump.
yeah,
I think
bring out
this one it looks like the game thing always stays in the bottom center as if you're holding it and looking at it
yeah,
as you run and
right.
jump.
But somebody will copy it, so I'm telling them how
Yeah.
to copy it and,
Yeah, improve on it. Yeah.
improve on it.
Yeah. That would be very interesting for sure. But
Or
I'm excited to get
what if you could separate I'm just thinking, what if you separated that and you had the console in your hand that was actually the 2D and you have your TV that's the 3D up in front of you. So you literally have two screens that way, not showing you pretending to hold it, but you actually have to have two devices and it's streaming to
oh,
two devices at the same time
a Wii
to
U would
give
be
you the
perfect
two.
for that then.
Huh?
The Wii U would be perfect for that
Oh yeah,
because
right.
you have your TV screen and then you have the little handheld in your hand.
Exactly. Like that would be super cool
Yeah, that'd be
to
really
take advantage
interesting.
of something like that.
Yeah. The 3DS Sonic, maybe, but then you're holding both of them in your hand. But what Kimberly says, we played the original version of Mario. I know what you mean, but it all play / find interesting in Super Mario. Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely interested in trying it out. I think maybe it's just in beta or like a preview right now, or maybe it's Kickstarter. I haven't gone to look and see if I can download it yet because I think last time I read about it, which was been a couple weeks ago, I think it was still in like testing or something. But it's called Screenbound. You can probably find it and bookmark it on your favorite game store or maybe on like itch.io or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely check out. They have wish list on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. There you go. So yeah, it's
Okay.
available on those platforms. I don't know the developer. I don't know if I found out about this through one of our Christian developer pages or if it was just a news article that came up on Google News. But I was like, it's really neat looking, so I wanted to chat about it and bring it up. But yeah,
I definitely am intrigued by the idea of it.
yeah, same.
It'd be interesting to see is what are you actually playing though? If
Do you tend towards one or the other and just ignore the other one? Is that what you mean?
well, no. I mean, like, what's the object of the game?
Oh, I see. Yeah,
What
yeah.
style of game is it? Might because I don't know which, like I said, which one are you playing? Like, if I'm
Yes.
sneaking around as an assassin, a side screen that's showing me a side view while I'm looking
Oh,
ahead, pretty
okay.
cool.
I
Um,
I get the
if I'm
impression that it's a very platformery, like Mario, Sonic kind of deal.
Yeah, but I was also thinking, if you're FPS, also really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
You
that could be
know,
cool.
that'd be really cool. Like if you could do things like that. If you're doing a sports game, that could be really cool.
Hmm.
So I could think of places where it'd be really cool. If you're doing Minecraft, I don't know what you need it for.
Yeah. Well, even then, there can be characters that sneak up on you, and
Yeah, right. But you know
yeah,
what I mean? It's
yeah,
it's it's so I don't know what the
less.
game is actually going to involve
It would be
the
like playing
gameplay.
Terraria and Minecraft at the same time. because Terraria is that side scroller kind of Minecraft game. That could be interesting. But I do remember playing a game on the 3DS. We've kind of exhausted our topics, but just to chat a little bit
I was just
longer.
thinking what you could do, which would be really interesting, if you took Stranger Things and made a game where what is happening on the screen in your hand
Is the upside down?
is the upside down,
Yeah,
and
that'd
everything
be
that's
cool.
happening up is what's happening in the up world. And
Okay.
you can be in either one of the worlds that you're doing the play in, but the other screen is happening
The
simultaneously.
opposite is the other. Yeah,
Oh man, would that be a mind trip?
that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played this game on the 3DS way back in the day that was like, it was like Captain, now that I think of it, like Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, where you have to spin the map that you're on to see the thing from different angles. So I'm wondering if this 5D game will have a similar element where in the 3D world, I spin this way. Does my 2D platforming change to show me a different angle than what I was looking at before? So yeah, I'm definitely interested to try it out. I might stream that a little bit, and if I can get my hands on it and check it out. But that's all I had for tonight. I'm out.
Yeah. Well,
We did it.
There's some interesting things that are possibly forthcoming and coming out. And like, as much as I'm right now on PC, I don't want consoles to go away. I still think consoles have a place. And I don't like, I know Nintendo's going with the you don't ever own a game with DLC only versions with some platforms. Well, we're not going to sell you physical discs anymore anyway. Just download it. It's like, man, I want to actually own my content still. I want a physical device for the most part. So
yeah, I agree. And it's actually almost looking like the consoles are just becoming PCs. The Xbox especially is going to be able to play PC games from what I can gather. You'll be able to almost install, if not completely install, the Steam store and the Epic Game Store and stuff like that on the next iteration. And Valve is making their own console, which is really just going to be a PC. And so it seems like everything's kind of going towards PC, but if they can keep that ease of like plug and play, that's what I've always loved about the console, is I can go buy an Xbox and I know that if I buy a game that they made for the Xbox, it's going to play on there, you know. Oh, FlatCap froze. Did we all freeze? Did my internet go down? Is the podcast about to end extremely abruptly?
hey, I got disconnected.
Oh, there we go. You're back.
They were just saying that my volume was not good, and then all of a sudden I get disconnected. So
weird. Yeah. Well, I bumped up your volume a bit, but according to my sliders in OBS, we're hitting the same kind of thresholds as we go. So it's weird. No change in volume. I'll crank it up a little bit, but he's been sounding good on my end. Maybe it's a volume thing in Discord. Maybe I have you. No, I have you at like 98% on Discord too. But well, not much I can do about it now. I wish I could change something at the start of the episode instead of at the end. But we'll get by. So what have I clicked on here? My whole screen's going wonky. So yeah, I was just saying, I don't know if you heard with your outage there. Like when I buy a game, I want to know I bought a game that has the Xbox logo on it. It's going to work in my Xbox, you know? Because nowadays you buy it, or I haven't actually seen it a ton in recent years because I don't buy a lot of brand new games. But any of the newer games that I have bought over the last little while work on my older kind of PC. But back in the day, I would say 15, 20 years ago, you could very easily go to the store and buy a game and take it home and it wouldn't run on your PC. You know? And that's where consoles were fantastic, because you could go and buy a Super Nintendo or an N64. You take the game home, you put it in your console, it works. Your PlayStation, it works. You don't have to worry about, do I have enough RAM in my PlayStation, or do I have the right graphics card in my PlayStation to play this game? So yeah, consoles I think still have a place. I think they probably will for at least a few more years, maybe a couple decades, but it'd be interesting to see how things go over that
Yeah.
that
Well,
time period
and
coming up.
when you're fighting and you're going to release the newest console with more power and those kinds of things, it's yeah, I want the better one, I want the higher one, but at some
Mm-hmm.
point, like I don't want to upgrade, So I
Mm-hmm.
haven't played, what is um Assassin's Creed Shadows because my console is outdated to play
Oh,
it. They
yeah,
only released it on the newest version, which I never
yeah,
upgraded to.
gotcha.
So it's like, all right, so is the Black Flag going to be, remake going to be
Probably
just on that? Okay. Well, probably
maybe
drop a
on
third
PC.
one and then I'll decide,
Yeah,
But, it's all good.
yeah. We get to play them eventually. That's where
Yeah,
that's where now I'm going back and playing things on like good old games and stuff like that. That
oh yeah.
are the games are 30 years old, but now I know my PC is going to run them just fine because I couldn't play them back then. I didn't have a PC that would play them, so now I'm like, okay, good. Now I can go back and play
Yeah.
all these cool games. Do we ever talk about FlatCap's cap? Well, once in a while. I'm just finishing up this podcast episode, and then I can chat with you about whatever it is. Uh,
Yeah, time to go.
yeah, the kids are getting restless. The kids that should have been asleep an hour ago. Um, your father still has a box of those games in the basement. Some of them I have here. I have some. I have like Medal of Honor, like one of the first Medal of Honor games on PC on disc here in my basement because my dad was like, "Do you want to take these?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take them."
Oh, I've got 20, 30-year-old PC games
Yeah.
still sitting in a drawer where, yeah, I've still got some of those. So
Is it like the Cap in Mario Odyssey game? Can you throw it and take over things? Your flat cap.
not that I
Yeah.
know of.
Not yet.
That would be fun if I could do something. I'd be more inclined to go with James Bond, where he takes the hat and throws it, and it can
Oh,
cut
like
the
Odd Job.
yeah, Odd Job,
Yeah.
exactly. Cut the head off of a marble statue with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Well, I think we're towards the end here. Do you have anything going on that you want people to know about? Any things you're working on with the church digital or your own stuff that you want to
Uh,
highlight?
yeah, I can say I've just the my podcast coming up on I don't know. I want to figure out when it is, but I want to celebrate, episode 100. I know I'm over 70 or somewhere around there,
Nice.
70. So sometime later this year, I'll be celebrating that, which is pretty fun and
Yeah.
exciting. The church digital, we are just continuing to work on helping people be able to think about being a missionary, think about doing evangelism, thinking about doing discipleship. So if you're interested, you need help with something, always check us out. Love to do that. And then, just supporting other streamers out there. So
Mhm.
that's what I've been up to and what I've been doing.
Yeah. I love that stuff. I love your podcasts and the church digital, what they're doing. And there's that new church digital care, TCD care.
Yeah, TCD Care.
Yeah.
Still don't have a launch date, but if you go to the church.digital/care, it should be happening soon. Again, we just keep delaying it. We're wanting to make sure it's right, and
Yeah.
we've got some people that are ready to sign up. But, we've got a project manager who's helping to refine things to make sure that it's good, it's viable,
Yeah.
it's going to be sustainable. And yeah, go check that out if you're interested. So basically, the program is called Thrive. And if you're struggling in life and you just want to have someone help you walk through what are the things that you're doing all the time that get in the way of your life being good.
Mm.
And it is Christian based. It is, have scripture in there, but it's also a group of people walking alongside of you as you do this. So
Very cool.
I think it's going to be pretty cool down the road. We hopefully will have some addiction recovery stuff. We haven't got there yet.
Mhm.
We're starting with this one because it's going to be, accessible and usable to more people.
Yeah, we'll post the links in the show notes. The Flat Cap I think can share it in chat, or at least can share it with one of our mods, Sonic or somebody can share it. But yeah, we'll get the links and share them later. Yeah, when you try and post it there, it comes up as just all stars.
Okay.
Because my chat doesn't allow anyone other than moderators. But maybe I can make you a moderator so that you can share it.
Oh, there we go.
Oops. Yeah, now you're mod. You can post it. Yeah, so there will be the links for that. This we're working on right now. We're running alpha on stream. That's on Tuesdays. And we're running a thing called the bag games, which it's been interesting. It's been a learning experience with trying to get people on and have contestants. We've had the most contestants we've had on in a single episode was 3, and that was a lot of fun. And then last week we had 2, and so I really would like to see if we can generate some interest in it for a season 2. We had like parkour the first week over like lava, and Hannah and Tactical Skillet were on there. They're having a great time laughing and trying not to fall in the lava. And then the next week we did a big hedge maze, and they all got lost in there for about 10 minutes and had to try and compete to find the way to the end of the maze first. And yeah, I think it is fun. I think the people that are playing it are enjoying it. We've just had a couple like scheduling conflicts, and then we've had some other hiccups and things. But once we get like some clips from it, I think where I can share it and say, hey, look what we did last year. It was so much fun. Can we get like 8 people on all at the same time? And then then I think we'll really get it rolling. So
8 people on. Wow, that'll get really complicated fast.
It could get hectic, but I think that's some of the fun comes from the hectic.
Yes. Yeah.
But
you get some saboteurs when you get more people.
Yeah.
The person that's not going to win, but I'm going to take you down with me.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the idea. It's like it was supposed to be like a reality show, like Survivor, Big Brother, the Beast Games and stuff like that, where people are making alliances maybe, or different things, or helping one another to win the competitions. But it doesn't go that way when there's only 2 players on.
No, right? Everybody for yourself.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. So, well, thanks for joining, FlatCap. I appreciate having you.
Absolutely. And, have a great week.
You too. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.